Hey everybody, Chris here. In this video, we're going to talk about Dogecoin versus the overall crypto market weakness. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my videos come out as well as when I do live streams. And we were live on Wednesday and we were charting a path forward for Dogecoin. I was expecting a little bit of a pullback, which I'll show you on the charts. And Doge pulled back a little more than I thought, showing overall weakness in the market, continuing a bear market still overall in structure, waiting to see where are the bottoms. Did we already have the bottom? Will the price go lower from here? Let's get into it. Let me show you the charts in the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Let me start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart at 9.6 cents. 9.6, this was my estimate prediction of where we would be last night trading with Doge during the live stream. We had the big run up yesterday, about 15%, hit this resistance line here at 10.35, came back down. We were trading at about 10.2 or so, and I predicted Doge would come down. We would test 10 cent support, probably drop a little bit below before coming up last night, and it just dropped lower. So with that, we look at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin didn't drop as low percentage-wise, but did fail from 73K, which I thought would be support at 73, came down to about 71.8 overnight, and right now trading at 72.8. So that is the market structure right now. We don't have a continuation of Wednesday's run. So what is the path forward from here? That is the big question, and we have differing views, of course. But this pullback after a big run, particularly for Doge, does show overall market weakness and no continuation of yesterday's rally. Of course, yesterday we were all hugging each other with green in the market, right? And that was good to see. We're so back, but are we? I mean, that's the big question, right? Satoshi Flipper says the most unpopular opinion of all time: you are never in a 2026 traditional bear market, as claimed by four-year cycles, but rather we were recovering from the worst liquidation black swan event in crypto history, with the bull market resuming its uptrend soon. That's not unpopular, but I don't think it's correct. Every 4 years, the events are different. The black swans are different, but they happen. And that is the way it is. And we'll show that on the charts in just a minute. It just kind of repeats. And here we are again. I'm a believer. This is still a bear market. Unfortunately, that's the unpopular opinion. I would rather everything be in the green and prices going up and everybody's excited and making money. But that's just not the situation we are in. Lark Davis is trying to stay positive, right? If we clear 70K on the weekly time frame, so he's saying 70K for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is now at 72.9. So he's saying if we close the week, and it's Thursday morning now as I'm recording this, so we got a few more days to go. But if we close the week above 70, so staying above this the yellow box here, if we stay above that, then the next major target is 89 to 96. So that's a nice big move, right? That's a big move. Now I was predicting a move up to at least 80, 82, but 90 to 96 is a bigger move. And will this structure where we had the downfall, a little bit of a relief rally into the new year, and then the next downfall, are we starting a new relief rally here? We will see. Fibonacci, the 0.5 retracement level. So again, that would be back up here above 90, moving averages, SR flip, multi-year trend line. I mean, all of that is just, they're just lines on a chart. They don't mean anything. Trader Tardigrade talks about Bitcoin in the bullish engulfing candle that we've seen before, early 2025, mid 2024, before big runs. Are we seeing that here again, or is this just a little bit of a bull flag that will lead to lower prices? History doesn't lie. Every time the signal appeared on the weekly chart, Bitcoin pumped massively. Well, that's because of the news that was going on, not because of the chart. In my opinion, that is what we have. So tread carefully. I know a lot of you just want to keep buying on the dips. But Ali is saying, look, this is like the 4-year cycle. It is like 2022. He's calling it deja vu. And what did we see in 2022? We saw this move again, right? After coming over this crossover, having that first drop, and then we have that relief rally. And again, I said we've had relief rallies before in bear market years. There's the relief rally, and then there's the next drop. Now, that next drop was Luna back in 2022. That was the big Luna crash. What is going to be the narrative if we have that fractal here in 2026? We don't know what that news event is going to be. But there's always something. And that negativity, that something is out there. So there is a lot of uncertainty and a lot of people calling for patience, and we'll show that in a minute. And I'm kind of on this bandwagon. There's going to be some pullback. Now, is it going to be as drastic as the Luna crash? Are we going to see 40K Bitcoin? I don't think it's going to go that low. I've always been saying we'll probably bottom into the 50s, but we are watching that. And here's Gel, and this is my opinion right now. Everyone wants to buy down here in the 50s. And again, this is the little dead cat bounce right here that we have, a little bit of a relief rally with that black candle up, but the fractal shows lower. And then of course there's the doom, that next following black swan, if we do have it, and we're in this range in the 40s. Bitcoin's still closely following the 2022 bear market path. Would have at least one more drive lower in the tank if it keeps playing out the same. We'll know soon enough. Patience remains my game. Either the market proves me wrong or I get cheaper entries. And that's my position. And I know some of you are just like, Chris, you always say, just don't try to time the market. Just buy DCA on the dips. But at this point, I still think weakness over the summer. And because we've seen that again as history repeats. And so I am being patient here. But that's just my position. I can't tell you guys what to do. I can only tell you what I'm doing. Is this the bottom for crypto? In 3 out of 4 cases, the lower band of the Guppy indicator was the bottom for Bitcoin. We saw it. 2018, we saw the COVID crash, which was the anomaly. And then we had the 2022, which was Luna, followed by FTX hitting the bottom. And that's when we went below. So that was kind of an extraordinary, like, big black swans consecutive between Celsius and Voyager and BlockFi, 3 O's, capital, that whole mess finalized by that FTX bankruptcy, which brought Bitcoin all the way down to 15,600. So here's this key line. We're touching it right now. Are we going to drop below it or not? Only in 2022 did the FTX crash cause a deviation. Bitcoin has now reacted again precisely at this level. We're seeing a bit of relief rally happening in Bitcoin into the 70s when it hit 60 on that drop. Will we see capitulation down lower this cycle? That is the unknown. If we turn to ETH, we're like, well, the leverage traders, what's going on? And it looks like trapped between liquidity. So we got all the shorters up here. We got the longers down here. What's going to be the next move? Are they going to take out shorts and then come down and take longs? Or is the news event going to be such that it's going to be easier for the market makers to come down and take out the longs? That liquidity trap is real. That's what moves the markets during low liquidity. And I would expect this kind of move to happen when we see interest waning again in crypto. We have our friend trader Alan, who always pulls out his Ichimoku analysis when he wants to give a bearish signal. So when you start complaining that Alan is always bullish and always showing these big bullish charts, he always pulls this one out every now and then, which is his Ichimoku trigger, which is bearish. Doge spiked into the Kumo cloud resistance, but got rejected hard, confirming the bearish setup that we've been talking about for a while. Now, Alan only talks about the bearish with this chart. And then he goes on his other charts, which I'll show you in a minute, which are all bullish. I called him on it once, and he pointed to this one, and he said, see, I'm bearish. And I'm like, okay, so you do this one, bearish. Okay, I get it. that's what it is. Dogecoin stuck in bearish zone. Key levels 10.3 cents down to 7.9. Dogecoin faces extended bearish pressure below the 10-cent RSI, sits at 34. Whales are dominating sellers. 7.9 cents looms as support. So are we going to see a further dip back down through the 8s? And are we going to touch 7.9? The broader market structure remains weak. And that's what we have right now. We have weakness in the market. We had a nice bit of relief rally yesterday, but right now it's like the reduced capital flows across the market have hit meme coin tokens the hardest. Risk-off sentiment is dominating investor behavior. Retail activity has dried up. We saw a bit of a rally yesterday. Many people buying on the nice green candles. You know how that's not how I trade. I look for the red pullbacks, and I think we are going to get more of that. We have buying excitement, but we just saw a little bit of it yesterday. Panic selling among small-scale traders will happen when we see that capitulation again. Retail is relatively absent. A lot are wait and see like me, which cause low volume. And we had over $2 billion in volume yesterday for Doge, but it's probably going to tick back to the $1 billion range, is my guess. So you have a combination of whale-driven selling pressure, retail disengagement creates a structurally weak market. Without sufficient demand to absorb the sell-side volume, downside risk remains elevated. So that's where we are with a weak market overall. Uncertainty about the Iran conflict, how long that is going to go on. I mean, we're talking about Clarity Act, we're talking about X money and these positive things, but they're still out there. Uncertainty reigns, and that's what we're seeing. And again, of course, here's Alan, right? Indecisive symmetrical triangle. Is it going to be green? Is it going to go red? He does the check mark with the green as we have the relief rally, a little bit of relief rally on Wednesday that came up above that downward sloping resistance line. We're coming back and retesting it. That is typically what we see. We see that pullback happening. And then finally, third chance on a historical bottom support channel, again going back to 2020 and then back to 2016 before big runs. And of course, these big runs again were 2017, the big bull market, 2021, the big bull market, 2025. Now, interesting, in 24, 23, and even the bear market of 22, we didn't come down and hit that historical bottom channel. Thus, we had a weaker bull market in 2025, which was actually the end of 2024 when Doge hit 48 cents. Now we're hitting that again. So does that mean we're going to have an accelerated bull market coming forward? But again, I wouldn't expect this to happen until 2028 or 9 would be in the 4-year cycles. But there's always a catalyst. X money launches. That'd be great. Dogecoin gets incorporated somehow. Elon does that. Then we could certainly see something like this. So that's the bullish outlook, but that is out there. Right now, we have a weak market structure and no continuation from yesterday's rally with crypto. Let me know in the comments below, what are your feelings about the market structure now? How are you feeling about Doge? And then into the future, give the video a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.